Well, Jane, less than a week since Hurricane Lala dumped more than 3 feet of rain on the big island of Hawaii, and another tropical cyclone, it seems to be brewing.
The National Hurricane Center is saying that Invest 90E has a high chance of becoming a tropical depression or storm as soon as today, and it could follow a very similar path to Lala.
That probability is up now at a 90%. We're looking at some of the video, though, that Lala caused in Hawaii. That steep terrain on the big island really enhanced that rain. And even if this low, 90E, stays well offshore, not the news that we want, because we'll deal with more rain as those recovery efforts are ongoing. It's the top of the hour. Let's bring in Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Bryan Norcross this morning. Bryan, thinking at the very least we'll get more tropical moisture with this thing. I guess a big question is, how organized does it look to you this morning?
Well, it's looking reasonably organized. As a matter of fact, I'm a little surprised they didn't go ahead and call it a depression. We can see the hints of a circulation. It must be right on the cusp. And I think this is pretty quickly going to become a tropical storm. It will be called Tropical Storm Moki, is the next name on the Central Pacific list, another Hawaiian name. So here's where we stand this morning. Still an invest, meaning it's a disturbance that the National Hurricane Center is investigating through special computer models and other kinds of special analysis that they click on when they see a system that deserves it. And so it is an Invest 90E, because it became an invest in the Eastern Pacific, and there's a longitude line there, 140 degrees. When it goes across that, it's in the Central Pacific, so it's going to get a Central Pacific name, meaning a Hawaiian name. All right, 90% chance that it is going to develop. 35-mile-an-hour winds is the estimate right now. And there you can see where the Hurricane Center is putting the nominal center of this thing, but here's where you can see the circulation is. So the thing is that the circulation is not really attached to the thunderstorms, are not really attached to the circulation at this point. So a little bit more of that, we're going to have a depression and then eventually a storm when they get some analysis showing the wind speeds. There you see where the model analyzes the center of circulation. You see it's a little bit different than the X, but it's an estimate because we don't have good measurements out there. In any case, general idea, but it does show a closed circulation, just not organization yet to call it a tropical depression, which has to have a very definite organizational signature. All right, here's the most likely development area. You see in the general direction of Hawaii, and the reason it's not too big is because there's high confidence that it's going to develop very soon. So this is not like a cone. This doesn't go out 5 days. This is just in the area they think it's most likely to develop. And if it's going to develop here pretty soon, that development area doesn't need to be very big. The main idea is that it is heading up in this general direction here, once again, of the Hawaiian Islands. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to affect the part of Hawaii that was affected the worst by Lala. It's just really unfortunate. Now, this one is going to struggle based on everything we know. This, you see the browns and the dark colors up here, that's dry air, and you see that's rotating around into the circulation. So that's why on the circulation you saw all the thunderstorms over here on this side, because this side is just getting dried out. Otherwise, the weather pattern out there is fine and the water is plenty warm, but dry air is going to be the big issue as this thing goes forward. All right, so let's look at it on the model, and the model shows you the dark greens on this right side where we have seen it, and on this side just lighter green, so there's dry air, and here you see the dry air tongue that wraps around in there, and let's see how it does, how the model says it does, as it heads up in the direction there of the big island of Hawaii. So here we are this morning, Thursday time. This is early morning Hawaii Thursday time. We're going to put the clock there in Hawaii time, so just add 6 hours and you'll get it. All right, so here we are in Saturday morning Hawaii time, or Saturday afternoon Eastern time, and again you see around the center kind of light green to brown colors, indicating that there's dust kind of gumming up the works there. But we see a strong tropical feed up in here that unfortunately the islands are just in the way of if it keeps going in that direction. So here we are Saturday morning Hawaii time, and then by Saturday afternoon this moves in. Might feel a little bit of it in advance of that. The resolution of the model doesn't necessarily pick all that up on the trade winds, so maybe late on Friday notice a little increase in trade winds and the direction of the trade winds changing to a more southeast direction eventually. So here we are with this moisture. Remember, it was the southern half of the Big Island here that really got nailed. It's just in horrible condition there. Cleanup has just barely begun from Lala, and this is coming close. Now, is the center going to stay way down here? Maybe, but the thing is, as we saw with Lala, a lot of the strong winds were like on the north side, and the heavy rain, remember the almost 4 feet of rain was on the north side of the Big Island. So it doesn't have to be exactly closest to the center because of the shape of the mountains that can enhance the rain in different kind of ways. In any case, Sunday morning looks like they'll be in it, and then moving on to later in the day. And here we go to Monday, but at the end of Monday. And you notice we're starting to get some dry up in here. You notice some dry in the center. Models show it weakening at that time, but still a bit of a moisture feed coming in from the south. A south moisture feed is very moist. That's higher humidity air. That means more rain. So rain is expected this weekend on the Hawaiian Islands. Now, as far as all the models, you looked at one. That was a European model, that what it said. But when we look at the set of models, we get a wider dispersion because the storm hasn't even formed yet. So they're kind of spread out a little bit. And you'll see that the blue ones up here, up very close to the islands, those are the Google AI models. Otherwise, you see some down here as well. So it's a fairly wide dispersion. Google is kind of unsure exactly what the possibilities are, a range of possibilities. But anyway, all of them are spread all over the place, telling us there's some uncertainty about how far from the island the center is going to go and the strongest winds are going to go at this point because the system hasn't developed. Then, as with the European model, here we are Monday morning, passing by the Western Islands. Looks like Oahu, probably Monday morning. Whatever effects are going to be would be maximum then. And then by Monday afternoon, pretty much passed on by. Although, remember, this one also has kind of a tail of moisture, so it's going to take some time for that to clear. Let's kind of cut away all of that and just look at some averages here. When we look at the averages of the non-AI models, these are the GFS and the European and some other non-AI models, you see it's reasonably far offshore. That doesn't mean that the Big Island won't get some of this northern fringe, but if that were to happen, it would be less because the core of it, strongest winds, would be farther offshore. But still, outer bands and weak storms can still be very strong. So this isn't nothing for the island. The Google model is a little farther north. Now, with the Google model, we can look under the hood and see that's an average of all their possible forecasts. Now, let's see how dispersed they are. And what we can see here is a lot of them are right up here by the island. So Google says there's about a 60-70% chance of a tropical storm affecting the Big Island. There's about a 15% chance of a hurricane affecting the Big Island. So this is not, this is a potential threat that everybody there has got to pay attention to. And if it takes one of these northerly tracks, obviously all of the islands could have a pretty significant effect. So it's a little too early to pin this down more. Bottom line is, Hawaii has got to be on alert once again for all this to happen here. Today is Thursday, and this is all going to be happening late Saturday into Sunday. In terms of how strong it could be, you see we have models that take it up into Category 1 hurricane range here, up in here. On Saturday, something around that, tropical storm to Category 1 hurricane. That dry air is going to be an impediment. Okay, elsewhere out here, a couple of systems offshore Mexico, neither expected to be a threat. This one is going to come in the direction of Hawaii eventually, but should be very weak by the time it gets there. There is Lala heading out into the North Pacific and not a threat. All right, guys, the Pacific is just lit up. We may finally see something in the Atlantic next week. The models have pretty good consensus on that, but we'll see. Nothing there yet.
We were just looking at guidance as you were talking, Brian, and it really is stark to see how the Pacific has just numerous spins, several cyclones that we're dealing with, and the fact that Hawaii yet again could have some of the impacts from another developing cyclone. We'll wait to see what the Hurricane Center decides. Appreciate the analysis as always. Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Bryan Norcross for us.